2 or 3 years ago, Jasper.ai was one of the very first apps you could use to generate content. And frankly, it generated poor quality. It was robotic enough that you could tell reading the first few words. But as the models have gotten more sophisticated, it's getting harder to tell the difference. It's getting harder to argue that you should not.
Reed Hansen is a growth strategist dedicated to helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses. From creative professionals to logistics leaders, he equips business owners with the systems they need to grow faster and smarter.
If you can provide training and prompt and design an agent that has your whole businesses that it can draw on, it's really a ton more efficient. There will be some back and forth where Google and other search engines are going to suss it out, and SEO for using it if they can figure it out.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Van Ornum back with another edition of Scaling Up Success, powered by Cynergists. Cynergists, your go-to for helping you scale your operations business exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost. Today on our podcast, I have Mr. Reed Hansen with Market Surge. How the heck are you doing, sir?
Doing really well, thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're super stoked to have you. And man, you got a great company behind you. Tell us a little bit about Market Surge.
Absolutely. So Market Surge is a marketing agency that uses technology to help small and medium-sized businesses grow and do what they do best. So I end up working with a lot of people with great technical skills, a lot of great creatives, but maybe don't have the time or bandwidth to do all the marketing tasks required to grow. So we come in and help enable them with automation. We outsource some tasks and just really help them hit the accelerator.
And I love that. And it's almost vital now in today's market, in today's economy, that businesses are growing with that type of operations on the backside to be able to help to see them go from maybe a million or two in revenue up to 50 million. And it can definitely happen with your services, right?
Absolutely. And it is a function of if you get the right growth machine in place, then you feed it fuel, and the more fuel you feed it, the more output you get in terms of clients and sales, and you will achieve it. But it's sometimes it's a little bit of a uphill battle getting that machine in place.
Man, it's pretty crazy as you hear from other business owners. A lot of times it's almost helping them get out of their own way. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some business owners that say things like, I don't do cold calls, or I don't do networking, or I don't do X method to get clients. And essentially you have to flex to what your ideal clients, what they need, and you need to find them where they can be found. You don't always get to choose the marketing tasks that enable your growth. You've got to find that and make those connections and be flexible.
I love that. And being able to reach your clients at their level,
Yeah.
that's really important, especially in today's market, because there's so many, so so many opportunities or companies out there that may be doing certain things that you can tailor it. It makes you stand out.
Right, right. And I find that like different industries, even the different businesses within the same industry may have to take a different approach. You've got the formula where you have the clients that you serve that fit with you, that want to work with you, your own personality and preferences and style and skills, and the geography or the locality you work in. All these come to play in how you can really approach getting new clients and getting new sales. You have to learn, you have to listen, and you have to adapt. And I'd say like it's a any growth formula or marketing formula is something you need to revisit on a regular basis, more so now than ever with all the AI changes that have come about.
Tell me a little bit more, like, on your, with Market Surge, what type of AI platforms that are services that you guys utilize right now?
Yeah, so we use the GoHighLevel platform for many of our client engagements, and they do have some native UI, sorry, AI tools that are powered by OpenAI. There's a chatbot, and so that handles text conversations for scheduling or booking or even purchases. And then the same, it has limited functionality, but will have more voice AI for taking inbound customer service or other inquiries on the phone. There's other tools that are even more advanced that can carry those conversations. But it's been a great asset for a business owner like a solopreneur or somebody with a very small back office. This really enables them to get a lot more done. The cost is lower. One one hesitation has always been people are uncomfortable with AI sounding messages or voices, and that gap is starting to close both in the terms of the AI sounding more and more human, and people are getting more and more accustomed to it. Lately I have also been experimenting with coding with AI tools. I am not a developer, but I've been using Gemini, OpenAI, and Cursor to generate apps. So connecting different databases together and meshing that data to produce reports and produce, just even like mini apps. It's quite remarkable what you can do now. Simply just putting in language and asking Cursor to do something, and it generates a dashboard. It generates a web page app. It's quite miraculous.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Super cool. So, as you've been building out Market Surge with your company there, what have been any like have you come across any unexpected opportunities along the way that you may not have thought of when you started this whole brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started with Market Surge, our client base, in part because our first client was a photography studio, we learned a lot together, and we really expanded quickly among photography studios. And to this day, we still have a lot of photography studio clients. But what recently has come about is we have found there is a lot of opportunity in logistics. Now, our without getting into politics, we're finding that a lot of large businesses are bringing a lot more manufacturing into the lower 48 states. And as a result, we've just been observing that there's a lot more traffic, interstate traffic, shipping items and parts back and forth. And so as that activity is increased, the need for automation does increase as well. So, there's just so many places where these sales and relationships are constructed like on paper and face to face, and a lot of data is not automated or not transferred in an automated fashion. Super friendly, smart people, but it has been just a very relationship driven industry, and there's a lot of opportunity to innovate. And so we have added some logistics clients and found that there were a lot of quick wins, a lot of low hanging fruit to apply some digital marketing principles to send out email in volume and text and build more sophisticated web apps for them as well. So tremendous opportunity there.
I love that. And as you're growing out Market Surge, like where do you what do you when you started or a couple years ago, what was considered success then compared to what is considered success now?
Yeah, actually, so when I started, I was hoping that this would be something of a lifestyle business, where a lot of our clients were on a subscription and it required support, but once I had a support team in place, it didn't require much of me. And so I was pretty excited about like a fairly low involvement business, but it has changed. I've enjoyed the work, and we've gone beyond just using the our instance of the GoHighLevel platform, the CRM, to offering a lot more marketing services. I found that we can have a lot more impact when we help help control the leads coming in the sense of like, when we help structure the ads or help structure the landing pages or lead magnets that draw people into their CRM, that we can make more effective automations and just really have like a more holistic relationship with our clients. And so it's meant a lot more involvement from me because there's a lot more custom work that needs to be done and I guess diagnosed. And so I'm busier than I thought I would be, but I would define this as success because we have a lot of client relationships where we're really a strategic partner, not just a software vendor. So
I love
that's
that.
how I define success now is having that kind of impact on more
Have
businesses.
have you seen like the like the industry trends in terms of like the way that like copy is written for your clients has changed over the last couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. So, 2 or 3 years ago, Jasper.ai was one of the very first apps you could use to generate content. And frankly, it generated a poor quality and it's iterated over time and is now quite good, but it was robotic enough that you could tell reading the first sentence or first few words. And but as the models have gotten more sophisticated, it's getting harder to tell the difference, and it's getting harder to argue that you should not do that for your blog. If you can provide training and prompts and design an agent that has your whole business's wiki that it can draw on, it's really a ton more efficient. And there will be some back and forth where Google and other search engines are going to attempt to suss it out and knock your SEO for using it if they can figure it out. But it's a little bit of a joust. They're as the LLMs observe the impact of deranking, they adjust and improve. And I feel like it's kind of a losing battle for Google to try to limit people's use of AI.
Right, right. So as you've seen market search grow out, the social environment, has kind of changed over the last like couple of years. Do you see that impacting the way that you're going across in your marketing as well?
Yeah, yeah, and I'd be curious what your definition of the social environment is. But a few like observations I have is that years ago, even through the pandemic, people were still immersing themselves into Facebook and still very active. Now, a lot of that activity has shifted over to the short form video platforms
Yeah.
like Instagram and TikTok.
And
And
even
so,
YouTube Shorts.
yeah, YouTube Shorts,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And so that adjustment has been such that it really puts, I mean, it just changes the way that you create content. I think traditionally we're creating a lot of like horizontal images and lengthy text posts, trying to start conversations, whereas now you want to have the dialogue, the information should be in the video, and usually it's vertical, and it's like handheld pointed at yourself. And so that approach is a little bit more, it does require some more involvement and even some more thought. That's an area, it's funny, even just this week, I've seen some AI videos that are just, have are super impressive. I'm seeing this series of videos about like Bible characters that are
Yes.
like that are like ranting as if they're influencers or something, and the
The talking
but
Sasquatches,
right, but even up until like this week, it was almost like AI proof.
right.
But like, I mean, we might have just crossed a threshold just within the past few weeks
No,
that
those ones are incredible. I just saw those this week as well. They're really
right.
cool. So,
Yeah.
what one piece of advice would you give someone that is interested in starting maybe their entrepreneurial journey in your space?
Yeah. So what I would say is that I would go for it. And there are a lot of applications that you can use to teach yourself marketing. And there's a huge wealth of knowledge on YouTube to get yourself up to speed on anything you want. So say you want to be an AI expert or build AI agents. Well, dive into YouTube videos and literally just ask them, like in the search, just ask, how do I do X? And there will be so many videos on it, and there are people so helpful and content that's so useful that you'll be able to pick that up. And then there are also so many low cost tools or free tools. They have like a freemium tier, and you can start with that, and you can even cobble together a combination of those free tools to generate reports, automate a process that your potential clients are spending a lot of time on. And so like say like you had a stack of ChatGPT, Make, and whatever CRM or database they're using, you could easily come up with a formula that helps you generate content for their blog or content for their email campaigns. With you could do that in just a few hours in a few YouTube videos, or you even ask ChatGPT for some ideas. And
So even as you're growing this thing out, man, as a Northwestern guy, you were telling me this that they can just go to YouTube and do this thing.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, this is going to be very disruptive for expensive schools. And it is, I mean, there may be some value, like maybe it's a great social experience to go to college, but I am kind of, I am, I, I'm tipping towards encouraging people to just start something and learn, like rather than invest $400,000 in.
I'm just giving you a hard time, my friend, but I'm a Nebraska guy myself, man. Overpaid for my master's degree too, bro. So I
Oh,
totally
that's the only time we fill our stadium is when Nebraska comes to
That's
town.
because the other two-thirds of it is red.
That's right. Oh, absolutely. It's an away game when we play Nebraska in Evanston. So
Exactly. How's the new stadium coming along, by the way?
it looks like a scaffolding right now, so it's coming, but I think we're a couple years away. So
It's supposed to be super nice, like intimate stadium. I'm really excited. I've actually seen the plans for it and the renderings. Looks
yeah.
awesome.
And they did a good job with the basketball arena. And so I have faith, but yeah, it'll be smaller and probably a little bit more posh.
I
So
love it, man. I
yeah.
love it. Well, Reed Hansen, thank you so much for coming on Scaling Up Success today. Really appreciate your time, and let's do it again soon.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. Really a pleasure.
Absolutely. Once again, Ryan Van Ornum with Scaling Up Success, powered by Cynergists. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day, guys.